What up, what up? Ice Clip Media with Ceci, fresh off of her competition. Ceci the Shata. Ceci competed this past weekend, got the dub, went in there and really looked like a natural born Thai fighter. One of the things that I'm most proud of, as you guys know, we like technique here, and it's something that she was able to display in this fight. How do you feel about the fight overall?
Yeah, I feel good. Obviously getting the win is always a good thing. I might be a little too hard on myself sometimes, so there's a lot of things I want to work on, but that's after every fight. There's a lot of gaps to fill. But overall, I felt really good. I felt good that my stamina was good. I was able to go as many rounds as I needed to. I felt composed. I was working on certain things during the fight, which maybe I focused a little too hard on. But you know what? Just knowing that I was able to focus was very, very, I was a proud moment for myself, So I feel good. And I'm just excited for the future, because now I know that I can do that. It's unlimited from here.
So for this fight, one of the biggest difference that I noticed was that you had somebody there with you that's close to you.
That's right.
Which was different.
Right, yeah.
How did that play into anything? If it did, how did that person feel being there?
Right, so it was my brother, right? It was his first time being there. I mean, he's watched all my fights. We always do a breakdown after every fight. The reason why it's the first time was because I was afraid I'd be nervous, right? I was afraid that having someone so close to me there would maybe have me distracted or whatever. But I think, in fact, it worked on the other way around. I was very grounded. He helped me keep me very calm. He was able to tell me things that we had previously worked on, at home, very intimate moments that we have. He was able to really just tell me, dude, it's just a little PKB, nothing big, He was actually much more nervous, much more intense than I was. But
I could see that.
Yeah, like I said, it's his first time, and I don't blame him. If I were to see him up there, it'd probably be the same or even worse. But yeah, I think overall, he just kept me very grounded. He kept me very at peace. He honestly avoided me going into fight or flight more than anything. It was very much like I'm there to display Muay Thai and just to get in a little scrap.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like there was some nervousness there coming from him, but he was really good about staying calm.
Yeah.
And I think that helps out a lot too.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I think that most people don't understand is when you're in a fight and competing, it's a different emotion than when you're watching somebody fight. Obviously, a lot of people are going to understand that emotion of watching versus competing. So there is that difference. But I think it was really cool that he was there. I think that was probably one of the highlights of that day. Talk a little bit about how the preparation for this fight was different from other fights. And do you feel like that helped the experience that you've gained through the process now leading up to the sixth fight?
Right. I think this time around, I was much more intentional with my workouts, with my running, with all that stuff, things outside of, hitting pads and stuff. Because the preparation in the past fights, I was just trying to do everything every day, just as much as I could. And that doesn't always play for you, In fact, it's against you because, you're tired or you're not doing things the right way because your fatigue plays, you're like the next day you don't want to do it correctly or whatever, technique fails and stuff. So this time around, I planned it ahead. I did make like a little calendar and stuff where I was like, okay, this is how it's going to go. And there was times where it didn't go as I planned it. There was days where maybe my energy wasn't all there, but instead of like being hard on myself and like, no, or like, oh my God, I failed. I didn't let that one day just disrupt all the past week and the past work that I had already done. I just moved past it and I was like, it's fine. The next days I'll make up for it or I'll just continue, So it was a very constant pace that I kept for myself. And I think that helped overall. I felt it, during the fight. I was at a very steady pace and my body gave me what I gave it throughout the process,
Yeah, I totally get that. What was your favorite part of the fight?
My favorite part of the fight, honestly, it was probably the warm-ups. I know it might be a little funny, but I don't know. I felt like I was very focused. I really, really enjoy having you guys on my team just there. You guys are very supportive and you guys just, how do I put this? You guys are like, watching over me. Like, it's cute. Yeah. It's like, you guys are like, give her some space, you know, man. She's about to get on. And it never fails. It's been all 6 of my PKBs. I really enjoy that. Like you've told me before, really, sometimes it's not the fight, it's the process that I enjoy the most. And, if I must say, I want to keep doing it because I want to continue processes. I want to continue going through those camps and just enjoying moments with you guys because that's the fun part. Not really. I mean, me and my opponent, a couple rounds, but it's all here. It's all on the mats. And like I said, the warm-ups was my favorite part.
I like that. What do you think is next for you?
Well, definitely to my coaches, you and Coach Paul. And I really just want to continue working. Like I previously said, there's a lot of gaps I want to fix. We got to continue. I mean, I'm not stopping, We're going to continue.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So just so you guys know, most people, they kind of downplay PKBs or PMTs. It really depends on what level you are in your journey, in your Muay Thai journey, and overall what you want to do with this. PKBs can be a big deal for a lot of people, and it can be a small deal for others. It just depends. Me personally, I think it depends on the person. It's going to depend from one person to the other. But I think it was a big deal. Like having a PKB, being a female, and then putting in the work that you put in. I think it's a great outcome, but more than anything else, it's great to be able to go in there and just display. Whether you win or you lose, as long as you go in there and you get to put the work in and showcase what you've been doing and working on, I think it's great. So good job to you. And I think the next thing that follows after this, we're going to be really excited for you. The whole team is going to be back here. Shout out to everybody that came out. Shout out to everybody that watched on the live feed and sent messages as well. We appreciate that truly. Thank you for doing this.
No, thank you, Coach.
On to the next one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach.
So what it got?